Hey guys, welcome to the 87th C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to use multiple document interface. And that is also called MDI. So if you don't know what multiple document interface is, it basically means that you can have forms inside of forms. For example, if we were to show a form inside of form 1 right here, then when we move it around, we would only be able to move it around inside of this form. If we tried to move it out here or something, then we wouldn't be able to do that. It would just stay inside of this form. And if you still don't know what I mean, you'll see once we get there. So once you have your forms and your buttons, just double click on button 1. So to start off, we have to first tell the compiler that we want this form to be able to hold forms inside of it. So in order to do that, we're going to have to tell it that we want form 1 to be an MDI container. That's what it's called. So we can just do this because that will access form 1 class. This keyword will just access the class that we're inside of. And then we can just do this dot is MDI container. And we're just going to want to set that equal to true. And all that means is we can have forms inside of it now. Alright, so now we want to have forms be displayed inside of this form. So in order to do that, we're just going to create a new form and show it like we would normally do. So we're just going to do form2, call it f, and set it equal to a new form2. Now before we show it though, we have to tell it that we want it to be inside of form 1. So in order to do that, we're just going to do f dot MDI parent equals this. And once again, this keyword will refer to the class that we are inside of, so form 1. So we're telling it the parent or the container that it will be inside of is form 1. And once you have that, you can now display the form. So just do f.show. And you cannot do show dialog for obvious reasons. Like, you wouldn't be able to click it and then not go back to form 1 because you're inside of form 1. So now when we debug here and click button 1, we should have a form that we can only move around inside of this, and form 1 will be a container, and you'll see a change. Yep, and as you can see, this is all grayish now. It's like a container. And now when we move this around, we can only move it around inside of here. If we move it outside of here, we get a scroll bar. Then we can just scroll over to it and see the form. And like I said, you can't move it out. We can't even move our mouse outside of the form. Alright, so say you want to show multiple forms all be inside of this form. Well, you can do that. We can just go ahead and copy this code. We'll just show the other form. We'll show 3 and 4. So let's do form 3 and form 4. We'll just have to call these different names though. Oops. Alright, so now what this will do is it will show all 3 forms inside of form 1. So now when we click this button, we should have form 2, form 3, and form 4 all inside of this one form. Yep, we now have form 4, form 3, and form 2. They're all inside of this form right here. Can't move them out. Now there's one last thing that I'm going to show you before I end this tutorial. You can arrange these forms that will be inside of this container very easily. So when we click button 2, where we want it to arrange them. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this, because this is the container, and then we're going to do MDI, layout MDI. And what this will do is it will say or set all the children or all of the forms inside of the MDI container, which is form 1, to a specific layout. And the first layout I'm going to show you is arrange icons. So now when we debug here, show the forms, and click this button, nothing really seems to be happening. It doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Well, what this arrange will do is it will arrange them when you have them minimized. And that's right, you can minimize them inside of this. So if we minimize them, you can see they just go right down to the bottom. And we can move these minimized forms around. We can move them up here and there and stuff. And now when we click this button, it'll arrange all of these down on the bottom. Yep, so they'll all stay there. You cannot move them, but if we move them all around now, click this button, it arranges them perfectly. The next one is Cascade. And this is fairly similar to what happens when you originally show them. So now when we click this Cascade button, it'll just arrange them. Yep, it just makes them a little bit wider, a little bit taller, but they're all like right on top of each other, as you can see. And the last two are pretty much the same. It's tile horizontal, and it's just like what it says it'll do. It tiles them horizontally. Yep. And tile vertical will do just tile them vertically. Yep. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial on multiple document interface. So see you guys.